Echoes of the Forgotten Magic. Season 1. Whispers of Destiny. The Awakening. Episode 12. Into the Blackwood Forest. The sun barely pierces through the thick canopy of the Blackwood Forest as Samba, Nari, and the Mentor make their way into its shadowy depths. The air is cooler here, and the dense foliage creates a sense of isolation, cutting off the outside world. The path ahead is barely visible, obscured by the twisting branches and the ever-present mist that clings to the ground. This forest has always been known for its volatile magic, where light and dark forces constantly clash. The deeper they venture, the more palpable the magic becomes, swirling through the air like a thick, invisible fog. The trees seem alive, their bark etched with ancient runes, remnants of magic that has lingered for centuries. The forest is both beautiful and terrifying, a place where power lies just beneath the surface, waiting to be unleashed. Samba grips the artifact tightly, feeling its familiar pulse as it resonates with the magic of the forest. He knows that this place is dangerous, and the mages will use every bit of the forest's unstable power to complete their ritual. Samba, quietly but determined. The magic here feels different. It's more chaotic than anything we've faced before. The Mentor walks beside him, his expression thoughtful as his eyes scan the trees. Mentor, gravely. The Blackwood Forest is a place of conflict. Light and dark magic coexist here, constantly pushing against one another. The mages will use that instability to their advantage. We must be careful. The magic could turn against us as easily as it could help. Nari, ever watchful, moves ahead of the group, her blade ready in hand. She's always been the one to charge into danger, but even she feels the weight of the forest's magic pressing in around them. Nari, smirking but wary. This place is a mess of magic. We'll need to be on our toes. The mages will have set traps, and the forest itself might decide we're not welcome. Samba nods, his mind focused on the task ahead. They've already disrupted 2 rituals, but the mages won't be caught off guard this time. The Blackwood Forest is a perfect place for the mages to make their stand volatile, unpredictable, and filled with dangerous magic. As they continue deeper into the forest, the air grows thicker with magic, and the light above dims even further. It's hard to tell where the shadows end and the trees begin, and the constant hum of magic in the air feels almost oppressive. Suddenly, the ground beneath them begins to shift, and the trees around them seem to sway unnaturally. The forest, alive with magic, reacts to their presence. Mentor, urgently. The forest is sensing the artifact's power. We need to move quickly, before it reacts any further. Before they can continue, a low growl echoes through the trees. From the shadows, dark figures begin to emerge, creatures made of pure magic, their forms constantly shifting between light and dark, as if the magic of the forest itself is struggling to maintain balance. Samba, quietly but alarmed. What are those? Nari raises her blade, her stance ready for battle. Nari, grimly. Doesn't matter. We'll deal with them like we deal with everything else. The creatures, sensing the artifact's power, move toward the group, their forms flickering between solid and ethereal. They are drawn to the magic, hungry for the energy that Samba holds. But there's something else in their movements, a wild, untamed force that suggests the creatures themselves are barely in control of their actions. Samba, resolute. We need to get past them. The mages are using the forest's magic to slow us down. The Mentor steps forward, his hands glowing with light magic as he raises a barrier around them. Mentor, calm but focused. Stay close. The creatures are part of the forest defenses, but they're unstable. We can use that against them. As the creatures close in, the air around the group thickens with magic, the light and dark forces of the forest clashing violently. The creatures howl as they move toward the barrier, their forms shifting and warping as they fight against the magic holding them together. Nari lunges forward, her blade flashing as she strikes the first creature. The creature lets out a piercing scream as the blade cuts through its form, sending ripples of light and dark energy scattering into the air. But instead of falling, the creature reforms, its body twisting and reshaping as it continues to advance. Nari, frustrated but determined, these things don't go down easy. Samba raises the artifact, feeling its power surge in response to the creature's magic. He knows they can't waste time fighting every creature in the forest. The mages are waiting at the heart of the ritual site, and they're running out of time. The Samba, urgently. We can't stay here. We need to push through and reach the ritual. The mentor nods, his voice steady. Mentor, seriously. Focus the artifact's power on disrupting their magic. It's unstable. They won't be able to hold together if we weaken them enough. With renewed determination, Samba channels the artifact's energy, sending a wave of blue light toward the creatures. The light pulses through the air, striking the creatures and causing their forms to flicker and fade. The unstable magic that holds them together begins to unravel, and the creatures howl in agony as their bodies dissolve into mist. One by one, the creatures fall, their forms unable to withstand the force of the artifact's power. The path ahead clears, and the group wastes no time in pressing forward. Samba, breathing heavily but determined. Let's go. The mages won't wait for us to catch our breath. Nari grins, her blade still in hand. Nari, smirking. Now that's more like it. Let's finish this. The group moves quickly, the thick shadows of the Blackwood Forest still pressing in around them. The ritual site is close now, and they can feel the magic in the air growing stronger with every step. But as they approach, they know that the mages won't go down without a fight. The deeper Samba, Nari, and the mentor venture into the heart of the Blackwood Forest, the more intense the magic becomes. The air crackles with energy, and the trees seem to shimmer as light and shadow twist together in unnatural ways. The artifact hums at Samba's side, resonating with the unstable forces swirling around them. They can feel it. The ritual site is close. The trees open up into a clearing, and there, at the center, stands the ritual site, a large stone circle, etched with runes that glow with alternating flashes of light and dark energy, hums with power. The mages are gathered around the circle, their hands raised as they chant, drawing from the forest's unstable magic. Above the circle, a swirling vortex of light and shadow spins, growing larger with every moment as the ritual reaches its peak. Samba, quietly but urgent. They're already deep into the ritual. We have to stop them now. Nari narrows her eyes as she scans the clearing, her blade ready in hand. Nari, seriously. They've set up defenses. We'll have to break through their guards first. The guards' figures cloaked in both light and shadow stand at the perimeter of the stone circle, their eyes glowing with the same magic that pulses through the ritual. Their forms flicker between solid and ethereal, as if the magic of the forest is struggling to hold them together. Mentor, gravely. The mages are using the forest's instability to fuel their ritual. If we don't stop them soon, they'll complete the ritual and gain control over both light and dark magic. The balance will be shattered. Samba tightens his grip on the artifact, feeling its power surge in response to the ritual's magic. He knows they don't have much time. Samba, determined. Nari, handle the guards. Mentor, help me disrupt the ritual. With a nod, Nari charges forward, her blade flashing as she engages the first of the guards. The creatures move to intercept her, their forms flickering as they shift between light and shadow. Nari moves swiftly, striking with precision as she battles her way through their defenses. Meanwhile, Samba and the mentor move toward the stone circle. The mages, sensing their approach, raise their hands and send waves of light and dark magic streaking through the air, aimed directly at them. Samba reacts quickly, raising the artifact and creating a shield of blue light to deflect the attacks. The magic crashes against the barrier, sending shockwaves through the clearing, but Samba holds firm. Samba, gritting his teeth. We need to break their connection to the forest's magic. If we can disrupt the runes, we can stop the ritual. The mentor nods, his hands glowing with light as he prepares to counter the mage's dark magic. Mentor, urgently. The runes are feeding the ritual. If we break them, the magic will collapse. Samba pushes forward, the artifact glowing brighter as he channels its power toward the stone circle. The blue light streaks through the air, striking one of the runes on the stone. The rune flickers and fades, its light dimming as the magic falters. The mages scream in fury as their connection to the forest's magic begins to weaken. They redouble their efforts, chanting louder as they try to restore the ritual's power. Mage leader, furious, shouting, "You cannot stop us! The magic of light and shadow will be ours." But Samba is undeterred. He channels the artifact's power once more, sending another blast of energy toward the runes. One by one, the runes begin to break, their light fading as the magic unravels. Nari, still locked in battle with the guards, glances toward the circle, her eyes narrowing as she sees the ritual starting to collapse. Nari, grinning, but focused. "Looks like you're losing your grip." With a final, powerful strike, Nari takes down the last of the guards, clearing the way for Samba and the mentor. The vortex of light and shadow above the circle begins to destabilize, swirling wildly as the mages struggle to maintain control. The ground beneath the stone circle trembles, and the trees surrounding the clearing sway as the magic of the forest reacts to the disruption. Samba, shouting with determination, "We're almost there! One more push!" With all of his strength, Samba channels the artifact's power into a final, concentrated blast of energy. The blue light surges forward, striking the center of the stone circle and shattering the remaining runes. The vortex above them collapses, sending shockwaves of energy through the clearing. The mages scream as their connection to the forest's magic is severed. The ritual, now broken, dissolves into nothingness, and the light and shadow that once filled the air dissipates, leaving the clearing still and silent. The mages, their power broken, stumble back, their faces twisted in defeat. Mage leader, furious but defeated. You've ruined everything." Samba lowers the artifact, breathing heavily as the glow fades. The battle is over, and the ritual has been stopped. Mentor, calmly but serious. "It's done. The balance of magic has been protected." Nari approaches, her blade still in hand, though the danger has passed. Nari, grinning, "Another ritual down. Looks like we're on a roll." Samba nods, feeling a sense of relief wash over him. They had stopped the mages again, but he knew the final battle was still ahead. Samba, quietly but resolute, "We'll keep going. We'll stop them at every site, no matter what it takes." The clearing in the Blackwood Forest is eerily quiet now that the ritual has been broken. The dark magic that once filled the air has dissipated, leaving behind a calm, almost unnatural stillness. Samba, Nari, and the mentor stand in the aftermath, their bodies tired, but their spirits resolute. The mages, having lost their connection to the forest's unstable magic, have retreated into the shadows, their plans disrupted once again. Samba lowers the artifact, its glow fading as the energy surrounding it begins to settle. He looks around the clearing, feeling the weight of the battles they've fought so far. The mages have grown more desperate with each encounter, and Samba knows that the final confrontation is drawing closer. Nari wipes the sweat from her brow, her blade still at her side. Though they've won another battle, there's no sign of celebration in her expression, only determination. Nari, seriously. "They're not going to stop. Each time we hit them, they come back stronger. We need to make sure the next time we hit, it's the last." The mentor steps forward, his eyes scanning the remnants of the ritual site. His face is lined with both concern and pride. They've stopped 3 rituals now, but the toll on the balance of magic is still evident. Mentor, calmly, but serious. The mages are losing control, but that makes them more dangerous. They've poured everything into these rituals, and with each failure, they'll grow more desperate. The next site will be their most fortified yet. Samba feels the weight of the mentor's words. The mages had planned to take control of light and dark magic, and if they had succeeded, the balance would have been shattered. Now, with only 2 sites left, Samba knows they must strike fast, before the mages can regroup and launch their final attack. Samba, determined. We've come this far, and we're not turning back. We'll stop them at the next site, just like we did here. The mentor nods, but his expression remains cautious. Mentor, thoughtfully. We'll need to be careful. The last 2 sites are the most dangerous, especially the final one. The mages will have poured all of their remaining power into defending it. Nari sheathes her blade and steps beside Samba, her usual grin returning to her face, though there's a hardness in her eyes. Nari, grinning slightly. Let's not get ahead of ourselves. We still have work to do. And besides, I'm not ready to let them have the upper hand again. Samba smiles, feeling a sense of solidarity with his companions. They had faced impossible odds before, and they had come out stronger each time. But the stakes have never been higher than they are now, and they all know it. Samba, resolute. We'll keep fighting. We'll stop them, no matter what it takes. The mentor pulls out the ancient map from the archive, unfolding it carefully as he marks their progress. His finger traces the path to the final 2 ritual sites, each one a critical point in the mage's plan. Mentor, calmly. The next site is in the northern mountains, deep within the Frostspire Peaks. It's a place of extreme magic, where the natural forces of the earth collide. The mages will use that instability to their advantage, but it also makes them vulnerable. If we can disrupt the ritual there, we'll break their control over the final site. Samba nods, understanding the gravity of their next move. The Frostspire Peaks are known for their treacherous terrain and volatile magic, a place where the elements themselves are at war. It would be a dangerous journey, but it was also their best chance to weaken the mages before the final battle. Samba, resolutely. Then that's where we'll go next. We won't give them time to regroup. Nari glances at the sky, noticing the first hints of darkness creeping over the horizon. She's always ready for a fight, but even she knows that the journey ahead will push them to their limits. Nari, calmly but focused. We should rest while we can. The Frostspire Peaks aren't exactly a walk in the park. The mentor nods in agreement, his voice calm but firm. Mentor, gently. Nari's right. We've done well here, but we need to be at our best for what's coming next. Samba looks around the clearing one last time, feeling the weight of the battles they've fought so far. They've stopped the mages from gaining control of the Blackwood Forest's magic, but the fight is far from over. The Frostspire Peaks await them, and the final site looms on the horizon. The group sets up camp just beyond the edge of the Blackwood Forest, the dense canopy of trees giving way to a small clearing where the air feels lighter. The tension from the battle still lingers, but there's a sense of quiet determination among Samba, Nari, and the mentor. They know that the journey ahead will be their toughest yet, but for now, they take a moment to rest, knowing the final confrontation is drawing near. Samba sits by the campfire, the faint glow of the artifact resting beside him. The flickering flames reflect in his eyes as he thinks about how far they've come. The mages have grown stronger with each sight, but so has their resolve. The artifact, though powerful, feels like a heavier burden with every step. Samba, quietly reflective. We've stopped them at 3 sites now, but it doesn't feel like it's getting any easier. They keep coming back stronger. Nari, sitting nearby, sharpens her blade methodically, her usual smirk softened by the weight of the situation. Though she's always been the one to charge into battle without hesitation, even she feels the pressure of the final 2 rituals looming over them. Nari, calm but determined. That's how it goes with people like them. They've got everything to lose, so they're not going to let up. But that just means we can't either. The mentor, sitting across from them, looks up from the map he's been studying. His face is lined with both weariness and wisdom, but there's a calm determination in his eyes. Mentor, gently. The mages are desperate now. They've lost control at 3 key sites, and with each defeat, they've weakened their hold on the balance of magic. But that also makes them more dangerous. The final 2 sites are their last hope. Samba nods, understanding the mentor's words. The mages have been relentless in their pursuit of power, and now, with their plans unraveling, they'll do whatever it takes to complete the final rituals. Samba, seriously. Then we need to be ready. The Frostspire peaks are going to be difficult. We can't afford any mistakes. Nari stretches her arms, her confidence still shining through despite the gravity of the situation. Nari, grinning slightly. We've handled everything they've thrown at us so far. We'll handle whatever's waiting for us in the mountains too. I mean, how bad can it be? The mentor chuckles softly, though his expression remains serious. Mentor, calmly but cautious. The Frostspire peaks are a place of ancient power. The elements there are unpredictable, and the mages will use that to their advantage. We'll need to be prepared for anything. Samba looks at the sky, where the stars have begun to appear, twinkling faintly through the canopy of trees. The night feels peaceful, but he knows that the peace won't last. The Frostspire peaks are known for their treacherous terrain and volatile magic, and the final ritual site will be the mage's most fortified stronghold yet. As the fire crackles softly, the group sits in silence for a moment, each lost in their own thoughts. They've come so far, but the journey ahead will push them to their limits. Samba, quietly but resolute. We'll finish this. We've stopped them so far, and we'll stop them at the last site too. Nari nods, her usual grin returning. Nari, grinning. Damn right we will. The mentor looks at them both, his eyes filled with a quiet pride. Mentor, softly. You've both grown so much on this journey. The challenges ahead will be great, but I have no doubt that we'll face them together, and we will win. Samba feels a sense of calm wash over him. The road ahead is uncertain, but with his companions by his side, he knows they can face whatever comes next. As the night deepens, the group settles in to rest, knowing that tomorrow they'll begin their journey to the Frostspire peaks and to the final confrontation with the mages.